If the pressure was already weighing on Ange Postecoglou, Tottenham's dismal defeat at Everton saw it increase significantly. The numbers make for sombre reading. After 22 games, Spurs have just 24 points. They have been beaten 12 times in the league already and find themselves closer to the bottom three than the top half. That has resulted in fan base growing more disconsolate by the week and Postecoglou finding himself, according to the bookmakers at least, the top flight boss most likely for the Axe. Daniel Levy will ultimately have the final say on Postecoglou, but the signs, for now at least, suggest he still has a bit of leash remaining. Chief sports writer Andy Dunn answers some of your questions on the growing problems at Spurs, starting with that all-important decision in the dugout. Why is Daniel Levy being so patient with Postecoglou, considering he has won only 2 of his last 13 Premier League matches? Here's the deal. Levy likes him, likes his style of play. And despite this dismal run of form and results, Levy does not sense a mass supporters' revolt coming down the line. That's important. And Postecoglou is certainly not high maintenance in the way that, say, Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho were. Also, Levy cannot ignore the injury problems that have hampered Postecoglou, even though that would not normally be a job-saving excuse at an elite Premier League club. The Spurs hierarchy clearly believe Postecoglou has what it takes, in the long term, to establish an era of success at Spurs and believe he can establish a rapport with fans. The faith is being tested, but they still have faith. If Postecoglou and Spurs do go their separate ways, who would be in line to take over? Ignore the bookmakers' odds for now. Odds are decided by weight of money and no one is betting seriously on who might succeed Postecoglou. So, we can only second-guess Daniel Levy and come up with a few names that might appeal to him. And seen as though he would cost nothing in compensation, former Borussia Dortmund boss Edin Terzic would appeal and has a solid reputation. But my guess is that Levy would want someone with a good degree of Premier League experience who could hit the ground running. And that is why he would have Bournemouth's Andoni Iraola at the top of his list. Can an injury list that remains painfully lengthy excuse Tottenham's level of under-performance in the Premier League this season? It can excuse it, but only to a certain extent. It is serious mitigation rather than a catch-all excuse. But look at Manchester City. The Premier League champions suffered a few injuries, most significantly to Rodri, and they went through a torrid time. Injuries in key positions can really hurt. The absences of Christian Romero and Mickey van de Ven have clearly been harmful, as goalkeeper Guglielmo Vicario's fractured ankle. Dominic Solanke and Brennan Johnson are injured and will miss a significant number of games. The knock-on effect of a busy treatment room is that fit players are asked to do too much and can themselves suffer issues. Aside from the catalogue of injuries, what other factors have been behind a run of 1 win in 10 Premier League games? And that win was against Southampton, by the way, a side that has a very good chance of going down as one of the worst in Premier League history. In the light of the injury problems, it might have been wise for Postecoglou to curb his gung-ho style, but, up to now, he has barely compromised. And his cause has not been helped by certain marquee players struggling to produce their best. Most notably Son Heung-min and James Maddison. An imbalanced squad also means that too much has been expected of teenagers Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall, although those two have acquitted themselves decently. So, how long has Postecoglou got? Would defeat at home to desperately struggling Leicester City mean the end for Ange? As embarrassing as that would be, there are no indications to suggest that would be the case. Indeed, Tottenham's recruitment team is doing all it can to help Postecoglou through this crisis, even though they are struggling to find suitable reinforcements. The Carabao Cup semi-final second leg against Liverpool has taken on extra importance, ditto Spurs' campaign in the Europa League, a winnable trophy that Levy would love the club to lift. Postecoglou also has a 4th-round FA Cup tie at Aston Villa to look forward to. Clearly, Ange needs to dramatically improve Spurs' Premier League fortunes, but it looks like Levy is going to give him a decent amount of time to do just that. Join our new WhatsApp community privacy notice.